We will now start to create operations on this crank disk. We will start off with the stock advance or the using of the bar stopper. Go to the turning tab over here. We have our part handling. We like to do the stock advance, meaning we like to pull out the bar. So to get the stock advance, geometry, we are not going to move any of the geometry because it is already positioned correctly. We simply like to move out the bar to 1 mm distance. 1 mm. We have to match over here. This is to simulate the auto bar fitting environment. Because on our machine, we are having manual movement, but we need to simulate. So two parameters, we will make use of our bar stopper. We like to set the maximum spindle RPM. Confirm. So you could see that the bar has been advanced. So at this point of time, I'd like you to take a look at what we have done. This is the first operation. Here, this is an insertion point. It is important for you to understand these two arrow buttons. Now, if I get this move up, that is to say, the status before the stock advance. The stock was here. If I bring it down, the stock after this operation, the stock has been pulled out so that we are having the material to do the facing. Okay, so very important to understand this arrow so as to examine the operations. Alright, so next we will continue with the facing operation. Facing, it is under turning. Facing, we will make use of the rough OD turning tool. We set the maximum spindle speed and spindle RPM. Face parameter, we like to do a roughing operation, meaning to say we must keep something for finishing. For example, I say I would like to keep 0.3 for finishing. This is a roughing operation, uncheck the finishing. 0.3 will be left. Execute the task. So you could see that we have now only 0.3 mm left for the finishing cut. Alright, so at this point of time, we may want to do a file saving. File, make sure you save as. Do not just click save, otherwise you will overwrite the template. Okay, so you select a folder and make sure that you know where you have saved it to. Okay, so for example, I say this is called crank disk. Okay, so on top over here you can see that I have saved it on the folder with a name crank disk as a file over here. Next, we will do the OD turning. OD turning, we could make use of. First, I like to turn off this bar stopper. I like to create a new level. Okay, this new level is called For example, turn profile. Right. So similar to basic module, we like to make use of a wireframe, and we are going to create a turn profile. Turn profile is from this object. And then we say OK. Now if you turn off all the rest, you could see that this is a turn profile. 2D chain, which supports 2D operation, as in the case of our turning. Okay, I set it back to the top view. Over here, you could see that we are having sharp edges. So this is not a good practice. We know that at the end, there will be blur over here. So instead of changing anything on the model, we can modify right away over here. We go to the wireframe and then we ask for corner rounding, Philip. So we are going to give a small radius, for example 0.3 mm. I like to have it over here. I like to have it over there. Confirm. And this is a hole at the center. I like to give a chamfer. Chamfer of, for example, 0.3 mm. Corner between this edge and that edge. Okay, so this is what I want. When the part is being produced, it should be blur free on the machine. Go back to the toolpath. Now I'm going to create turning operation, roughing. So roughing over here, we are to select the wireframe. This is a wireframe. The wireframe, we will start off from this corner. We will end over here. Confirm. The cutter number 1 is going to be used. Again, we will set our maximum spindle speed RPM and our roughing operation. We will keep 0.8 on the X direction, 0.1 axial direction. We would like to apply the stock for outer boundary, so the system will detect how big is the raw material and then it will carry out how many cuts are required. Knit out. We don't want the cutter stop over here. We like to go further out. So extend. For example, I say I extend 4.5. So this is the outcome of our roughing operation. Okay, so again we will just click on the saved icon. Now after these operations, we like to carry out finishing. So I like to finish. Then the contour. We will be having exactly the same contour. We can click over here, or alternatively, we can use last command. If you are not sure about this icon, just leave the mouse over here for a short while. It will show you last. Okay, so it displays to you this was our last selection, which is okay. I confirm. I will make use of the finishing cutter. Again, maximum RPM. Finishing, it will be 0 allowance. Lead out, again, we go with it 1.5. Right, so this is our finishing. And the front face, we will finish off with facing operation. Same tool to be used, except this time I must indicate I like to do only the finishing with 0 allowance. Confirm. You can see the part model has been updated. We have completed our turning operations to a file saving.